You've now entered the agency. I'm your host, Agent Bey, and today on Off Topic, in this episode, I'm gonna holler at y'all about art jobs. Art jobs. So, I worked in the art field for a number of years in various capacities. That's when I started to figure out all the different ways that artists can make a living off art-related things. The idea of full-time artists. Let's go there. The idea of a full-time artist, I think it's kind of romanticized as this, what you're looking at, right? Is the artist in the studio, his artwork's on the wall, you're just there with your brush all day. Paint. You do your shows and whatever else. But I think that any full-time artist that's actually living that life will tell you that it's not just that. So back in the past, you had patrons who would just pay artists or support artists so that they could create, right? And those were much simpler times. But that's not what we're dealing with anymore. There's still possibilities of that, but it's less likely that that is the route that you'll take. And so you have to start trying to find ways to make money within the field. And just like any other, discipline or field, you've got to not entertain, it's not where I was going with it. You've got to hustle. You got to hustle, right? So once I started, I can go back to the story. So in the summer of 2017, I was about to be, at my lowest financially. I calculated where my funds were going to be at, and I realized that I needed to do something to create income. I was in graduate school, and so I didn't quite have I didn't have work or the capital to kind of support myself over the summer. I had some things come up early in the year, so I couldn't pay for things. But thankfully, there was a great museum, the Hermitage Museum and Gardens, that was putting on an exhibition called The Art of Burning Man, and they needed volunteers. And so, through my institution, Norfolk State University, my professors at the time had said, "Hey, go apply for this, and go schedule yourself to be a volunteer," which got me in the door to a lot more from there. So I go there, I start volunteering, and the benefit, at least at this one institution, I can't speak for every institution, but at least at this one institution, they really supported everybody who came to help out. I mean, they had lunch, snacks for you. And throughout the events that they had planned through the summer for the exhibition, when you came to volunteer, they get you a meal, a meal on the house. And so that kind of goes into volunteering and some of the capacities or ways that can kind of open doors for you. But what it got me access to was all the different levels of museum employment that exists, which again exists within the art field. It may not be, again, painting on the walls and things of that nature, but these institutions have to exist somehow. And a lot of times, many of those people who work there are artists themselves, or started their career in studio arts or some form of the arts, and found that they were more interested in or found work in these fields within the arts. So at a museum, you're going to have curators who plan exhibitions. You're going to have media or media personnel who gets out your social media and all your other content, your marketing. I put that. You have your marketing department, and again, these are all fields that already have their own disciplines, or you can get your major in marketing or broadcast journalism and things in that realm. But these are also fields in the arts. So the person who's an artist has a little bit more maybe a little bit more in tune with how art is received. So that could be a job that you can find yourself in. And then go back to story time. I think so. That summer, that was one thing, right? I also the city had done these does these summer programs where artists do large scale murals or projects, and they hire an artist to kind of plan out the project, and they have that like teens or children or students or come help create the project. And so the artist again gets paid for that one project, right? So it's it was a few weeks that you could it's an application process. At that time you become a state employee, and you spend probably up to like 6 weeks developing and creating the project, working through designs and all of that. And so again, it's not a gig that you doing continuously, but it's a part of that hustle. So I applied for it. That was all to say that I applied for it, but I didn't get it. But shout out to my homie that did get it. Let me get him up here one time. And then but I ended up doing a mural that summer, early that summer, through Norfolk State, with the Norfolk Redevelopment Housing Authority. They had a collaboration with the Fine Arts Department, and some students had designed a mural, and I got the opportunity to help them take their design and put it to scale. And so they created a smaller design. They actually painted it, a good 4 foot by 8 foot board, but the mural that they were going to do was going to be like 10 foot by 40 foot. So I helped them take that from that level they did in the classroom and move it to the larger scale. So we went into the community center, put it up on the walls, and got some students or some children from the community center involved and helped with the project. It was really exciting, really fun. So that was the first large scale mural that I participated in. It wasn't mine, as far as the design and all that. But then I applied for one for the city or for the arts district, and I got one on a billboard. And so I ended up doing one that was 8 foot by 40 foot up on a lift, and so that turned out to be a nice check. So again, I started that hustle started to work out for me. So I'm starting to find work in the field that wasn't sitting in the studio painting and whatever else, but it started developing that full-time artist. That idea of becoming a full-time artist, or really pursuing my life as a full-time artist. And then let's see, I got a job at a museum, right? So then I got a job at the Christ Museum, and I was starting at the entry level position as a gallery host, person that you see walking around, kind of first level security, walking around, you helping guests find their way around or talking to them about the art. So I did that for a while, all while being in grad school. Bada boom, bada bang. So that's it was an entryway into the museum world, where I had experience at the Hermitage Museum, volunteering and getting to know that staff at a smaller museum, and then working at the larger museum that is the Christ Museum, which I got the opportunity to apply for a position there as an art handler or art preparator, and got that job. And so now my position at a museum as an art handler fits more of my field of the arts, right? And so now I'm doing what I would be doing in my studio, as far as making my building things, framing works, hanging artworks, and things of that nature. All skills that I can apply to my own work. If I'm doing my own shows or creating my own pieces, I get to interact with those same elements at my job there. And so that's a job within the field that nobody really glorifies or talks much about it. I didn't know much about it or didn't even know it existed until I got into the museum field. And a lot of what you hear me talk about might have to do with the museum field because I'm in it, but that's one type of job. But again, if you go back through some of these things that I mentioned earlier, the city arts thing, the city of Norfolk, the person running the arts, the Norfolk Arts program or part of the government, is an artist herself, as well as her assistant. They're all, these are all artists who've, have their own shows and exhibit and do these things as well for themselves, but they also have a field, or they work in the field in which they help organize and create opportunities for artists as well. And so, again, that's opening your mind to what it is that you can do, because some people might find that they have an interest in creating opportunities. I found some interest in that myself, and so that may be something that they like, someone enjoys doing on their kind of on a regular basis, whereas they spend their time at home creating their work and doing whatever it is and applying for projects and things without wherever, because these same people that I'm talking about also find the time to create their work, participate in exhibitions, and do things throughout the nation, not just in their local area. And so they really explore their art career as much as they explore their career in the arts. Ooh, I like that. So yeah, there's an abundance of opportunities, and mine is at least what I'm talking about. It's coming through the lens of kind of studio practice, because obviously you have various majors within the art field, especially in just the visual arts field. So you have your fashion designers, you have your graphic designers, you have your photographers, you have your studio practice, and all of those can expand into various jobs. Graphic designers have their whole other field that they could be working on or working through. That's beyond just freelancing and working in the graphic design studio. I've gotten some I had a graphic design degree, and I've gotten some graphic design freelance work while doing my own studio practice. So again, it's that hustle of doing something in the arts. Teaching is also obviously a route that you can take, taking the educational route for sure, and getting your master's and getting your master's of fine arts and going into teaching at various levels, teaching at the grade school, K through 12, or teaching at the college level. Is definitely a possibility. There's various forms of teaching. Obviously, you have your own professors, or some of you that have gone to schools. You have your adjunct professors, and then you have your associate professors, your full-time, your tenured professors, and so that's a whole route that, again, these are all artists that are not just teaching the arts, but also many of them are still creating and participating in exhibitions and running wild with their own art careers, as well as teaching within the arts. And so again, all kinds of jobs. And then even within the full-time artist hustle, there's different ways that you can make money that aren't the same. There's no one path to say that this is the way to make money as a full-time artist. What I'm doing now is working for me, like this video recording, but it might not be for someone else. And so there's many ways within the field that you can make money, to where it's not just sitting in a studio and making artwork. It's how do you get access and marketing. This is a time where or we're in a time period or time, whatever, we're in a time where you can where like marketing, branding, and all those things is very important for artists, and it's mostly up to you to start and determine that. And you'll find that the more that you put yourself out there, the more you'll attract to getting opportunities to be able to participate in whatever it is. So